And here we are. Good morning. And I wouldn't be a reflector if I wouldn't be late. Meaning, I just skipped the whole 6 days of the Sleeping Phoenix. I was to be sleeping, but basically, I didn't do anything. So, we're going to pick it up now at the beginning, back where we started at the 1 3. So, on the right hand across of the Sleeping Phoenix, we have the 1 3 profile. And the 1 3s are probably the only ones that you can wake up. Probably, maybe the 3 5s, maybe. It's not like it's easy to wake up a sleeping phoenix. It isn't at all. It's something really to understand. You're dealing with the other arm of the cross, which is the 59 and 55. And you're dealing with a deep individuality with deep moodiness. You're dealing with the force of the part of civilization that says that concretization takes place in the now, that you have to build in the now, that you have to keep building in the now and never stop building in the now. And by the time you're finished building in the now, you're dead. Stay right there, now build, nothing else matters, you're uncertain about certain things else, too busy. Now, there's a good side and a bad side to everything. Isn't civilization lucky that we have these super slaves racing around building everything? Most interesting thing for me is that in the prime of civilization as a quarter, one of the driving forces of the building of these giant monuments was the sleepers. How interesting that they were building huge funeral monuments all over the planet. Busy. It's probably where the nonsense of the afterlife come from. But that you're going to wake up and Peter's going to be there and say, gee, we have been waiting for you. How nice it's been. Where is the investigate when yours? They don't investigate, they do. This is the sickness of the manifesting generator. The 2034 is the only example of a true manifesting generator. All the others are generators with manifesting potential. In that category, we call manifesting generator. The only true manifesting generator is the 2034. You can see the dilemma of the 2034. They have to. They don't realize that the doing should be response. This is a world driven by the not self and manifested propaganda. You have to do. And the moment that they're doing, their very awareness of inner authority is lost. They are asleep. Manifesting generators as a class are asleep because the doing is so overwhelming that you take away the basic authority in your life, the basic awareness to guide you in this life. So this is the archetype. This is I'm too busy. I'm too much busy, too busy to wake up. It's like being a good dreamer and you're running around having fun. No, I don't want to wake up. This is all fine. Everything is all fine because I'm doing. So when you're dealing with the 1 3, the only thing that is investigate is how to keep on doing. And of course, you will end up doing things that are productive, that are not productive, because it is a third line unconscious that's going to make mistakes. And what it's going to do is to be punished. It's a generator. This is a generator cross. You can't say that for everything. When we're looking at this, we're looking at something that is so common. Think about it. 4323 gives us the intellectual capability to able to structure and become more efficient as a being. The 4034 bonds us to the other and provides us with inheritance, security, emotional, physical, and material security. To 2044, when you're talking about bees, you can call them drones. These are the drones. They're out there mindlessly doing, and everybody knows that if you're 2034, at least it's what I've taught analysts, the only thing that can guide you is the 2024 is a 4323. You think the 4323 want the 2031st to wake up? They don't want to wake them up. They don't want to structure and align their activity to the benefit of mutation. And be damned if they don't wake up. They're useful droning around. And the 1 3 is all about is always the potential deep within the anarchistic nature of its unconscious to challenge the foundation. Everything about this sleeping phoenix is going to operate has to do much with the way in which the 1 3 is going to be raised, the way in which its trial now is going to be dealt with. But the great risk of having a sleeping phoenix child is that they blow up in your face if you wake them up, and you can only wake them up in the second Saturn return cycle between 7 and 14. You can wake them up, even they may disappear. This is a very strange configuration. After all, it's rooted in what's going on in the 55. It's rooted in the mutation of the emotional system. This cross is carrying all kinds of mutated frequency. And there's a sleeping phoenix that's going to wake up. Because when you come to me, I'm still alive in 2027, and you ask me what the name of this cross is, I'm going to give you another name. This is only the cross of the sleeping phoenix for humans. It's not the cross of the sleeping phoenix for race. It's quite different. So it's an enormous battle in the sense that the mutative forces that underlie this cross are not essentially accessible to humans, which is why most of them are blessed with running around, madly being busy until they die, not even noticing that there was something to wake up to. I know people with their son in the 20s. You have to get clamps. You clamp them into the chair. You hit them 8 or 9 times in the face. You give them a bottle of scotch. You do something. You calm them down for a moment so they may be you could input something. And whenever I look at them, I think, is it worth it? I'm still a manifester. Is it really worth it? At least sleep they're useful. They are so busy. I'm a 4323. I can guide them into something that's a little bit more useful because I know that if they see the light, that everything about them is going to dissolve. It also tells you something that if it only beings like me that can punch from the depth of the wheel so they can carry them out, you can see how difficult it is for them just to genetically to make that step. It doesn't mean that they are here to be abandoned, but I do want to understand the dilemma here. If you have a sleeping phoenix child, and they're typically in material that is a civilization, there are variations. This is very intense at this level because it's an absorption of being busy with material on the material plane. These people barely have enough time in their consciousness to even take in somebody else at the right angle level. All of a sudden, you begin to see that these are people that will be plowing along, and all of a sudden, you discover that somebody they really cared for, somebody they really loved, has been using them terribly. Often, the sleeping phoenix is awakened by betrayal. It has to be a trauma that opens their eyes, not a physical trauma. Sometimes it's a third line, but mostly physiological trauma. That thing that you haven't been looking, you haven't been seeing, didn't know that what was going on around you. This is when you tell a veil can drop. And it's only when this veil can drop that they can die to that life. When you finally see I've been a fool, when you can die to that life, then there is a chance. Honor your strategy, follow your inner authority, go through your deconditioning process, and wake up in the real sense. But the dropping of the veil is very important. These are beings that don't see. It's one of the difficulties of individuality. It's the very individual process. Individuality is waiting for mutation. Because it's waiting for mutation, it often ignores radical things that are not mutated that are around. Because it's waiting for mutation, this is the limitation. I know this is a 4323 intellectual, but I'm deeply, deeply, deeply resistant to somebody else's concept. That's the nature of individuality, to mutate the original, the new. But it also means that I'm often seeing of other concepts and what may be their value because it's a limitation in the process. When you're dealing with those are sleeping phoenix, you're playing with fire here because I've already been through what it's like to have relatives and you hate mail. I've been through that. I've had husbands and children. I've had people understand me very strange things about what I did to their mother, father, daughter, son. And I want you to understand what you're dealing with the sleeping phoenix. That's the kind of thing that you're actually looking at in reality. The one four. When we're looking at the right angle variations of this cross, when we're simply looking at the misplaced doing and in-place doing rooted in whatever the profile configuration is. So for example, when you move to the one four, everything we've seen about the one four is that the parental level of education, guidance, skills is going to determine the platform that one four is going to work with. And the whole time thing about one four is that it simply is going to be busy. It's going to be busy doing its investigation. It's going to be busy with all of them. These are people that are so absorbed that they can actually give that quality to the right people experience in the sense that their level of absorption is enormous. They're deeply, deeply driven by having this definition and an aspect of this cross. Wow. Okay. That's quite interesting. Beautiful.